tell me what to say.
Hey there! And welcome to another new exciting episode, or excitingly new episode, or exciting new episode, whatever you choose, of Serious Nibbage with B.R.E.
And gourmet pens.
That's her. Today we'll be talking about a pen that is not so much new, but that does seem to be very popular. And that pen is nothing else than
Oh my god.
the TWSBI
Classic!
Exactly.
Woo!
Now, what were your first impressions of the TWSBI Classic?
My first impressions. Packaging. I don't have the packaging. Anyway, it's a plastic box. It's translucent. It is not as slick and cool as the packaging for the 540s and the 580s was, where it was the clear plastic thing.
Although some people do really seem to like this new packaging.
Well, it's not that I dislike it. It's just not as displaying of the pen. So it is a little box and you open it. To me, it's efficient. It holds everything it needs. It's not unnecessarily large, which I tend to not like. It tends to be more expensive pens that come in like huge boxes, and then I have to decide what to do with the box. I know lots of people keep their boxes. That's totally fine. But I like to not hoard things.
It's also relatively utilitarian, I would say.
It is a utilitarian
not just small,
thing.
but it's also
very, everything fits in there perfectly.
Yes.
It's nice and efficient. So I like the box. And then I think the pen is really... You want to show the pen? Yeah, maybe show them the pen, just in case somebody hasn't seen it. I think the pen is really attractive. It's got the rounded corners. I like the color scheme. It'll focus in a second, hopefully. No, you're too close. I think it's really nice. It's a nice size. It's kind of slim-ish, but not like really not overly slender. So I think it's pretty. So my first impressions are very positive of it. Oh, and the ink window. I like the ink window. Sorry.
Thank you.
That really was exciting for me.
Anything else?
Nope, I'm done.
Are you sure?
Yes, I'm done.
All right. My first impression of the pen were very similar to Zizad's.
Such a copycat.
Oh, shut up. I was surprised that the box was so different, because I think for the 540, probably before that the 530, but I don't own one, the 540, the 580, the Mini, all had a similar box, and I kind of liked that box. It was very clean, it was very industrial looking. The new boxes, I personally prefer the older ones. As to the pen, I opened it, I unboxed it, and I thought, this is radically different from what we have seen from TWSBI up to this point. It's different from the Diamond 540, 580. It's different from the Vacuumatic. It really has unique TWSBI looks unique for TWSBI, I mean. So yeah, my first impression was this is a nice looking, somewhat small, but nice looking pen.
Cool.
What makes it special?
That
was a cat.
No, it's just my stomach. I'm hungry. Well, I don't know what does make it special.
I think what makes it special here is this is not unlike for example, the Nippon set music nibs that we have discussed before. I think what makes it special is it's relatively affordable. It is
because it's 55. Street price is 55 US dollars, I believe.
For that money, you get a piston filler, you get quite some nib options, extra fine to broad, and then 1.1, 1.5.
Right.
I guess I'll do it for this.
Right.
And it is disassemblable. You can disassemble it.
Okay,
and
that
you
is
can
pretty
maintain
special.
it. I would say that is
for that
good
price.
Because
that's pretty
interesting. I'm yet to see a, say, Waterman or Parker pen for that price that is a piston filler and it can be disassembled by the end user. I don't think you'll find that.
Right.
That makes it special. Now, what was your experience with writing with the pen?
Writing with it, well, my experience was...
That was my study.
Was interesting. This particular pen has a 1.1 millimeter nib on it, and I was expecting a nice, juicy, springy nib, because I also have a 540 with a 1.1, and it's very juicy, it's very springy, and I actually really like that nib. This one kind of let me down. It was a lot harder of a nib. It didn't have much give to it, and it was more on the dry side. It did have good flow. It does flow okay. It doesn't dry out on me. It doesn't skip out, but it just wasn't juicy. So I like juicy nibs. You know, some people don't. That's fine. Of course, it's personal preferences. But so my writing experience was not like I wasn't blown away by it or anything.
I'm struggling with the cat.
Yeah, she's yeah. Mm. So yeah, it was just so, I guess. It wrote. It was smooth enough. You know, it wasn't horribly scratchy. But I did get ink all over my fingers because.
Yes, I noticed that too. The weird thing is, something I didn't notice when I did my original review, but I used it a lot more after that, and especially during extended writing sessions, I noticed that too. And that is that somewhere here at this section, let me show you a close-up.
Oh,
here.
also at the front there.
At the front too?
Yep.
Okay, I don't know if I've experienced that, but right here at the section, somehow something leaks.
Oh, maybe it
And
just leaks down the top. Never mind.
You end up, well, pretty much like that just now, right? And this pen was just dried off with an ink cloth.
Or like, you know, ink all over your
Yes,
fingertips.
or like that.
So.
Now, this pen is not unique. It's not a lemon. There have been a lot of reports of this, that the classics do leak at the section, and you can check out various fountain pen forums to find messages along those lines. And something we both experienced too.
Yeah.
And that's something that can definitely detract from the whole.
Well, you know, I really don't mind ink on my hands, or you know, mouth, whatever. But but I don't like it to leak because you know, what if you're writing something that's special and you don't want ink all over it, or
what if you're in a business meeting?
that
and
could be inappropriate.
This has happened to me, and it's relatively embarrassing, right? If suddenly you can't leave the meeting and you just find your hand full of ink.
What if you get ink all over your face?
Or your clothes.
Or both.
Why not both?
Why not both?
So that's annoying.
Yeah, that does take away from the writing experience for me, because then you have to. While I was writing with it, I had to keep like drying my fingertips because there was wet ink all over it. So that's unfortunate. So that took away.
That is unfortunate. Now,
Yep.
we do understand that TWSBI does something towards replacing sections or something.
Well, why don't we switch our love and hate a little and talk about that?
Yeah, let's talk about love and hate right now.
So,
What do you love about it?
well, what do I love about it? I think it's a really attractive design. I think this is the black model. It also comes in blue and a burgundy, I believe, or a reddish color.
Sorry, I was just blocking your face. Go on.
Whatever. Everybody would rather look at the pen anyway. So I think it's very pretty. Oh my God! Don't say that on air. Jeez. So the chrome and the black is very. It's very sleek. It does have a business look to it.
Yes, it does.
But
more so, I think, than the previous TWSBIs.
Yeah, definitely. But I really like the ink window.
Ink window is cool.
It's really cool. It's small, but it's really neat because it's the pop of color in a very business-like pen.
Unless you put black ink in.
God, why would you do that? That's just horrible. Oh, no. So I really do like that about it, the design.
Okay.
It's a very appealing design.
I agree. Affordable piston filler, nice design, looks modern and yet classic. I find it classic with a bit of a twist, which is nice.
Oh, classic. Oh, I'm so fancy. Classic with a bit of a twist.
Yeah, shut
Okay.
up.
So,
Anyway, what do you hate about it?
Well, I am definitely not a fan of the leaking section. I definitely own a lot of TWSBIs, so it's not like I'm against TWSBI, because I think 3 540s, 2 580s, 2 minis, a micarta, a VAC 700, and this. So it's not like
A lot of TWSBI.
a lot of TWSBI. So it's not like I dislike TWSBI or anything, but I'm a bit disappointed by the leaking section, and
Well, especially, I think, if I may just interrupt you,
Yeah,
especially
sorry.
because it doesn't seem to be an isolated problem.
yeah,
We're not the only ones who experience this. There are, again, check out internet forums, and you'll find a lot
Quite a
of
few
people
people,
mentioning this, complaining about it. and I think that it is safe to say that once a pen is formally launched, these types of baby hiccups should have been eliminated. This is something that you need to test and test well.
I have a very controversial thing to say. No, I'm just kidding. No,
especially, I mean, you're not talking about a $5 pen.
But also, this is not the first pen they've launched. This is quite far into their production of pens. So
plus, we know about the let's say cracking debacles. With a lot of people reported cracks in their 540s.
All my 540s have cracks too.
Yep, mine
which
too.
Just magically appeared, literally.
Indeed, you don't do anything and it seems to crack. And I'm not.
It's like the crack fairy came and just. Oh, that doesn't sound right. Never mind.
The crack fairy.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stop. Okay.
I'll suck your nib for crack. Anyway.
Okay. Wow, this is.
Okay, this is spiraling out of control.
Family-friendly thing. Okay.
So yes.
So there is the leaking section, and I have contacted TWSBI because, of course, this is the first time. This has happened at the same time that I've realized that all my 540s are cracked. So I have contacted TWSBI because I've heard so much about their outstanding customer service. And I got to admit, I have not been blown away like everybody else has been by their customer service. So I'm still having mixed feelings about that.
I cannot honestly comment about customer service because I have not experienced it with them, except for the one time I actually emailed them to say, I review fountain pens. The classic is launched. People are requesting it. Do you think maybe I could get a review pen? And I wasn't graced with an answer. Whereas other companies like
even a no would be fine.
Cross, Montblanc
cool.
have actually at least replied, and even if they say no hard feelings. But I, in all honesty, would say that even if you are busy as a company, it is courteous to at least send a reply.
Yeah, so I'm a little disappointed by the experience this pen is giving me.
Yes.
Not just with the pen, but what it's doing towards my feelings about everything with the company. So I know some people are going to probably freak out about that. Please don't.
No, everyone is not. Obviously, I'm not trying to bash on TWSBI.
No.
I've always been a proponent of the.
Well,
the
yeah,
brand,
I mean, I have lots of them, so it's not like I dislike them. But
if a pen has issues, it has issues.
Yeah, that's just what it is. So.
What about? So we have discussed what we love and hate. Writing experience.
Yeah, we did.
We did that.
We
covered that.
Yeah,
right?
it was kind of dry.
Okay.
It was okay. Yeah.
Anything else to say?
No, I don't think so. I
No?
think that
Okay.
I think that pretty much covers
Sums
it.
it up.
Yeah.
Would you buy it?
Although I think it's cool that for $55 you get a pen you can take apart, you get a piston filler, all that stuff. No, I wouldn't buy it.
I have bought it, and in hindsight, I probably would not buy it again. I just don't find myself using it a lot, and again, the leaking section is an issue. It's just that simple.
Yeah.
Now, the question of questions.
The question of questions.
Is it, or is it not, serious nibbage?
Oh, boy.
This is the 1.1 millimeter nib we're talking about.
This is the 1.1, so it could vary for different nibs, but to me, it is not serious nibbage.
Why is it not serious nibbage? For the aforementioned reasons?
Well, yeah, and I just wasn't complete. I don't find it super exciting. It is attractive. It does have functional packaging, but
just based, I would say, on the writing experience. Is it serious?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, aside from that,
right, okay.
I didn't find the writing experience so thrilling that I loved the pen.
I agree. For me, this is not serious nibbage either. It's a nice enough pen, and even if you completely discard leakage, if you completely ignore that,
even ignoring that,
the nib is not the smoothest I've ever used. It's not horribly scratchy, but does give some feedback. And the flow is also not the most spectacular in the world. It's unlike my TWSBI 540 with 1.5 millimeter nib that actually just runs dry. It just stops. It ceases to write, because I think air replacement issues with that broader nib and that feed. This pen, I have not found it to do that, but it is on the dry side, and I have had occasional skips actually. So for me, decent writer, but not serious nibbage.
Yep.
Agreed?
Yep. So that is the verdict in the SBI Brown and Gourmet Pens field of thinking. It is not serious nibbage.
Well,
So that was this.
with that concluding remark, I think we have very much enjoyed this.
Yes.
We hope this was useful, and
We'll see you later.
bye!
Bye.
Hey there!